Injury that we had Stiggers. He has a hip being evaluated. Cam Jones, he has a hip also. He's been evaluated. Same thing with Garrett. All right, so Garrett had a couple of things that happened in the game. He went back in the game on one with his hip, and he came out again in that same situation. So I'll figure what that is. Disappointing game. Man, I thought our guys fought their asses off. Obviously wasn't good enough. It's tough being close. At some point, we gotta finish one of these here, and that's been something that we talk about how we finish, and we didn't finish the way that we needed to go and get this win. Give those guys a lot of credit. Defensively, they were all over the place when it comes to their defense. But I thought our defense played well. This was probably our best game, our defense. Guys, a takeaway. I think we were on the better end of the penalties, which is positive on both ends. But offensively, I mean, they gave it to us, and we all saw that. I don't know how many yards we averaged per rush, maybe 3-some yards a carry. I know we ran the ball quite a bit. Our passing game was non-existent, and that's something that we got to get better at. Those guys did a really good job of pressuring our quarterback, and they are a team that pressures quite a bit. So we knew that going in, and it was tough. It was tough. So, but there were a lot of good things from a defensive perspective, from a special teams perspective, that we're going to build on, and man, we're going to go back to the drawing board and get some things cleaned up on our offensive side and get ready to go to the next game. So. We put ourselves in this hole, we're 0-6, and we claim that. But we're going to continue to work and get better. That's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. All right, any questions?
How do you process being 0-6 like that? I imagine this is not something you foresaw.
The same way I process it when, I was in Detroit and we were at that. It is what it is, and you got to keep working. And no one's going to feel sorry for you. So, and same with a lot of these other coaches that I've talked to that was in this situation, same thing. So, it's not like this hasn't happened to other teams before. We have to keep fighting our ass off, and we got to keep building on the positive that we've shown and keep working.
I know you like to watch the film before you fully evaluate, but, the passing game had minus 11 net yards, I think. And
that speaks for itself.
Yeah. But Justin in particular, did you feel like he was hesitant to throw the ball today?
I want to see it. I will say this. When you have a team that pressures that much and play that much man coverage, sometimes you just got to give you guys a chance to win a one-on-one. Again, I don't want to just, stamp that, but I would think, because the way they play, and I know how Vance calls a game, that sometimes you got to give you guys a chance in those one-on-one situations.
Can you tell us what happened at the end of the first half with not running a play, just letting the clock run out?
So I knew we were getting the ball back, and I think it was like 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8. And at that point, we didn't know if we got the first down or not, because I know one ref was saying yes, no, and was no. So once it got the 4th down, guys, I'm not about to sit there and try to get a playoff, and they will get the ball back. And I think they had a timeout left and give them a chance to kick a field goal. I don't think that's the smartest thing to do. So let's just end the half, we get the ball back, and see if we can get a chance to score.
Do you think you showed enough urgency on that drive, even before that play, Aaron? You got the ball back with 3 minutes left. Do you think there was enough urgency altogether on that drive?
On the last drive?
The last drive of the first half.
I think we did show enough urgency. The thing is, I knew that we were getting the ball back, and we talked about this as a staff. I want to put us in a situation to where, man, let's go and let's try to get some points. At halftime, and we get the ball back at the second half, then we'll try to get points again. So that was the whole mindset of that. The thing I didn't want to do is give those guys the ball back. It happened to us. I think it happened to us last week. We ended up giving the team the ball back. And I don't want to put our guys in a situation like that again. So I think the smart thing to do was, man, can we run this clock all the way down? Can we get points? And then can we come back the second half and get points again?
Garrett seemed pretty upset when he was walking off the field at the end of the first half. Was that what it was about, and what did you talk to him? It seemed like you calmed him down a little bit.
He's a competitive person. Who wouldn't be pissed when things are not going right, on the offensive side of the ball. So, you guys know how he is. That's not going to change. And I like that about him. When things are not going right, he gets pissed.
The final 2-minute drive, you had just gotten the first down. The passing game wasn't going well all day. Did you think of running it on that first down? When I think Justin got sacked on that play.
Yeah. I think we were averaging like 3 yards a carry. Yes, I can easily say we could have ran the ball And that's always hindsight. But, man, we were trying to get ourselves in a position to where we can get to that 35, 40 and get a chance to get us a field goal in that situation.
Where was the line for the field goal there, AG? Is that the field we're seeing?
Well, 35 for us. Yeah, 35 for us. I mean, I know our guy, he kicked a 58-yard. That was his career long. So, man, we can get to 35. We felt like we were really good in that situation.
Consideration there on where you guys were? I think it would have been a
44.
Yeah, so it would have been.
I mean, that's tough. Again, we just said his line was 35, and we're talking about 9 yards back.
Like if his career long was 58, which he did this year.
58, and I think it was with the wind and all that. So I just thought that was tough.
AG, I understand you probably want to watch the film.
Yeah.
But Justin's numbers are not good from this game.
No.
Is he going to be your quarterback next week, or would you consider?
What kind of question is that?
Look, he did not have a good game. I mean, I think it's a fair question.
There's a number of guys that, I mean, sometimes this league is like this, and there are guys that have bad games. That doesn't mean you just bench them. Come on, you know better than that.
The struggles have been. I mean, you guys are 0-6 though. Like this isn't, a team that's 2-3 or 3-3, and the quarterback has a bad game. And Justin's played a role in some of these offensive struggles. The time to throw.
Everybody played a role in that. So it's not just Justin. Because I understand where you guys are trying to take this, but listen, there's a number of other guys that got to pick their game up too. So I don't want to sit there and pin this all on Justin.
The broadcast, the television broadcast, was showing a lot of plays where Justin had not been sacked yet. The ball's in his hand, and guys are open from there.
Well, I
don't know
on tape.
If he's not pulling the trigger, don't you kind of owe it to the rest of the guys on offense to give a guy another chance to be in there potentially to be the one to throw the ball and to pull the
I
trigger?
don't see that. And sometimes we got to get him to operate a certain way. I mean, that happens to a lot of guys. You just can't sit there and say, oh, man, we're going to bench him because this. I thought some other games he's played well. So I'm not looking at this as just, man, he played a bad game, I'm going to bench him. I don't see it that way.
Last one.
Before the first game, you told us last 4 minutes of each half are the head coaches.
Absolutely.
Last 4 minutes of the first half didn't go great for you guys today. Last 4 minutes didn't go great today. The second half. I would say last week in Dallas, first half.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you've done in those end
I
of
think
half
the decisions
situations?
have been the correct decisions. Sometimes we just didn't execute it. And that's okay, just like today's decision was, man, I do not want to give this offense the ball back at the 49 with a timeout. I mean, with time on the clock. I don't think that's smart. And I think what we did, knowing we were going to get the ball back at the second half, man, let's keep it. Even on this one, we ended up moving the ball, fairly well. We just didn't get a chance to, those guys sending a whole lot of pressure and sacked our quarterback. So we didn't execute. I think, I didn't want to put a 45-yard field goal, a 60-some-yard, 8-yard field goal, 65-yard field goal on our kicker, and he's never done that. And we set the line with the 35. So, listen, I do know this. I can improve in those situations too, though. I'm not going to sit there and just put on the players. That's on me also, a number of things. But we all have to work together to get better at those things too, though.